Hello, this is Joni Scott with Storming the Gates podcast, and I'm here on a new YouTube channel because in 2024, we are going to be praying through the book of Jeremiah. And I want to introduce you to that study and what it's about. So, first of all, it's going to be a bit of a study, a bit of a devotional, but most of all, it's going to be a prayer. It's going to be a prayer because I hope that, unlike the nation of Israel in Jeremiah's time, we are not going to stuff the message of Jeremiah into a cistern or try to kill it, but respond in true fear of the living God. So what I want us to do is take a good look at the book of Jeremiah, apply the words to our personal lives, and then return with them to our secret places with the Lord, where we will cry out for ourselves and the land that we live in, whether it's America or elsewhere. First of all, the best way to understand the book of Jeremiah is to look at the time that they were written in, because the days of the prophet of Jeremiah are kind of a mirror almost being held up to our own generation. Consider this, that although the nation of Israel was founded on the one true God, Judah reverted to the worship of the gods of Canaan and Assyria. Generations of kings followed David's bloodline, but very few followed his heart. And so slowly at first, and then very rapidly, the children of Israel backslid into the depths of magic arts and necromancy, human sacrifice. The whole 9 yards. Well, northern Israel was destroyed by the Assyrians 100 years prior to Jeremiah's call. While the southern kingdom, which included Judah and Jerusalem, continued to scrape and claw their ways into survival, hanging on for another 100 years before they too would be destroyed or marched off into captivity. Now, Jeremiah begins his ministry as a prophet about 50 years before this utter destruction of his nation. And I found it interesting that Jeremiah did not come on the scene as the nation was, in complete decline. In fact, he entered his ministry during a time of spiritual reform for Judah. There was a youthful monarch named Josiah who ascended the throne 12 years previous. He was crowned as king at the tender age of 8. Wouldn't even qualify for a driver's license in our times. But at the age of 16, Josiah rejected his father's malevolent practices and turned instead to the worship of the true God. Now, in the annals of Judah's kings, Josiah stands out as a rare ruler who actively sought divine guidance, purged the kingdom of pagan worship sites, and under his leadership, the once sort of degraded realm is reformed into a place where the honor and worship of God takes precedence. Well, you look at that and you think that God must have responded to Josiah's calls by causing another young man to be raised up as a voice for Judah, and that was Jeremiah. So Josiah was the king doing the work, and Jeremiah was the voice to inspire him to continue and for the people to continue in what Josiah was doing. But surprisingly, when Jeremiah entered the scene, he didn't come on praising Josiah's godly reforms. Instead, he delivers a foreboding message of potential destruction. So this tells me that despite outward reforms, the nation as a whole remained far from God in their hearts. Does that mean all the people of Judah rejected the Lord? No. We'll see as we go through the book, it's not so. As a matter of fact, God infuses Jeremiah's prophecies with words of mercy and hope for the future, as well as providing guidance on how to avoid the impending disasters. And isn't that what he's doing for his people today? Well, we know that the fact Israel exists today as a nation is proof that many heeded the warnings of God's messengers. Now, I don't want to make the time we share in Jeremiah just about the choices the people of Judah made in those days. The book of Jeremiah looks penetratingly into our own lives and nation. And the question to us today is simple, but it's crucial. Will we listen to God's call to turn our lives around and live in obedience? Or will we ignore God's command and retreat into the comfort of our lives? So beginning next Tuesday, I'll be sharing weekly podcasts aimed at unraveling the relevance of Jeremiah's message for us in today. And I urge you to dedicate time each week to personally read a chapter. And now, additionally, I'm going to provide a link in the show notes where you can sign up for the newsletter. And I will be sending along journal pages to the email subscribers. And that will aid you in praying through the book of Jeremiah. They're going to center around 3 pivotal verses, as well as have room for you to incorporate the scriptures that spoke to you personally. Okay, so we are going to pray into this journey into Jeremiah. Oh, I kind of like that too, journey into Jeremiah. Lord, thank you for this opportunity to share your word with people, to pray with people that I don't even know. Lord, I ask that you will go before me as I prepare these words, and that they will not be my words, but they'll be your words. Lord, you already gave them to Jeremiah. So I pray that we'll have a revelation of how they relate to us today. Okay, well, get a hold of me by signing up for that newsletter and let me know what you think. And if you have any questions, feel free to comment, contact me, whatever works. And until next week, God bless you.